What's up, guys? We're back with another Bandai Tamashii Nation's Premium Bandai review, taking a look at a new Robot Spirits anime figure. So we've got the MSV, that's Mobile Suit Variation, Robot Spirits MS-05B Zaku 1. And this is specifically the Black Tri-Stars version from Mobile Suit Variation. So they're most commonly associated with their Black Zaku 2s. In this instance, they've got black and blue Zaku 1s, and I've never taken a look at a Zaku 1, so this will be a new figure for me. We've got it here in the standard but exclusive style packaging, so there's no window on this box. You've just got a big piece of artwork on the front showcasing the three Tri-Stars in their suits. You've got a product shot on one panel, the Zeon logo on another, and then the back of the box has got a bunch of product shots showcasing articulation and accessories. Pretty standard stuff for figure arts and Robot Spirits. So let's do it. Let's pull them out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, our Black Tri-Stars Zaku 1 Robot Spirits figure. And this guy is, well, he's not as new of a figure as I thought he was, because I do have a couple other Zaku, and I suppose it makes sense that a lot of them share some of the same engineering. So he's a new version of a Zaku, and it's the first Zaku 1 I've ever gotten, but it's not exactly an unfamiliar figure to me. So if you have some experience with version anime Zaku figures, you might know what you've got going into this one. He does, however, move pretty well. There are a few really interesting engineering pieces going on here, and then maybe one hindrance that I can speak of. Otherwise, though, this is a really solid figure as far as movement. So as far as head, you've got the very well hidden sort of neck piece that's in there. So he goes all the way up. I mean, that piece is just sunken into the chest really well. He doesn't go down as well, but honestly, that's enough. There's really no reason to have anything more than that. You've got your tilt side to side, full rotation as usual. This arm only goes out about that far because you've got this big sort of cap on the shoulder. This one, however, goes all the way out. So that's maybe like the one hindrance, is that you do have some asymmetrical articulation. Otherwise, though, it's pretty normal. You've got rotation. You've got your butterfly joint in there. There's also a way to raise and lower the arm here at the shoulder. And then you've got your chest flex that goes along with the butterfly joint. So he can go all the way across the chest really well. No issues with that. You've got your bicep swivel. We've got our double jointed elbows. And you've also got rotation at the elbow as well. And then you've got your ball hinges at the wrist, so up and down, side to side, all the way around, whichever way that hinge is articulated. We've got a torso cut here, so he goes side to side a little bit. You've got a backwards kick just a bit, and then it helps him with a crunch. So he goes forward about that far. It's not super far, but it's pretty decent, especially for a mech. And then full tilt is probably about that far. So you've got a little bit of tilt at the torso and then at the waist itself. The skirt pieces on the front and the side will hinge upward and outward respectively, so kick forward pretty far, basically 90 degrees. Doesn't really kick back except a little bit because the butt flap does not move. You've got kick outwards, and then you've got your thigh cut. We've got double jointed knees. And then, as usual, there's a lot of articulation down at the ankle. So hinge up and down. You do have rotation, but of course you've got these big cuffs here, which always get in the way. And then you've got your rocker. And then there's also a slight toe hinge there as well. So this guy moves really well. I mean, I don't really have too many issues with it as far as say like this shoulder area. Otherwise, though, it's very par for the course. Very easy to get into some really nice poses without too much trouble. And then, of course, everything's really fluid, no problems moving him around. Everything works pretty much how it should right out of the box. One of the main reasons I got this figure, and one of the reasons I really wanted him, is the aesthetics. And it's not just because it's a suit type that I don't have. It's mostly the color scheme, because it's kind of unique. It's not like there aren't blue Zaku suits and there aren't blue Zeon suits. I mean, one of my favorite mobile suit is a blue Zeon, the Camphor. But this guy is just kind of a nice mesh of things that aren't all that common. Zaku 1s aren't all that common. You don't see a lot of that. It's mostly Zaku 2s. And then blue ones in particular, a little bit more rare. They're usually green. So I like the idea of being able to get this guy. Of course, this is supposed to be a more specific version where it's the Black Tri-Stars and their three blue Zaku 1s. but I like this just as a general suit. I'm not going to get 3 of them because, frankly, they're just too expensive for me to want to army build them. But I can use this as any old Zaku 1 that also happens to be blue. I think the overall construction here is really nice. Again, it's one of those things where if you've messed with any of the other Zakus, you kind of know what's going on here because they're all very similar. The big difference is truthfully this shoulder piece that he has here, this sort of like, I don't know, almost cap that sits over top of it, which has that stripe and the arrows that run down. All of that piping is really clean and crisp. The colors are very, very solid and very nicely applied. And then you've got, you know, your Zaku 1 head sculpt, which, again, when I think of a Zaku, I think of a 2. So this is a little bit different. It's very plain. It's not nearly as pronounced in some ways as a Zaku 2. And then you've got that little spike on the back. Of course, no fin on the front either. He does have a little bit of a backpack going on, but it's really minimal. You've got 2 ports back there. He does have hard points all over him on the wrists, on the back, on the legs as well, so you can plug certain things into him. Minimal paint applications because, as is usually the case with this line, everything is cast in the color that it needs to be, so there's really not much issue with any kind of mucking or flubbing around with paint. It's just these little white accents as far as these little triangles, some of this little line work, and then you do have blacks on top of your navy blue to break it up just a little bit, make the colors pop amongst themselves, because again, there's really only 3 colors on this guy outside of the pink lens for the mono eye. So I really think overall the sculpt is really well done. He's put together really well, and it's another instance of it's very similar to the Zaku 2 figures that have come out relatively recently, but at the same time, this color scheme and this head sculpt set him apart, especially alongside the kind of wonky shoulder pad over here, which gives it a nice asymmetrical design, and I do tend to like that when it comes to my figures. Makes them stand out a little bit more, gives it a little bit more shelf presence, and maybe pushes them to the front of your display a little bit compared to figures that look the same from front to back. So pretty cool figure, a lot of good detail here, minimal paint, but again, where it is applied, it is really clean and crisp and no issues there. As far as accessories goes, I'm not really sure that I can think of much that is truly missing here. Nothing's jumping out at me that says, well, yeah, I would much rather have had this. He's got hands, guns, effect parts, connection pieces, all sorts of stuff. We've even got stickers here. So we've got a few things to start with that connect on to him. The first of which is this piece here. And I'm not entirely sure what it is because, you know, I can't read the instructions specifically. I can only look at the pictures. And it pegs into the backpack and then it sits on his shoulder. And I believe it has to do with the cannons that he comes with. So you can sort of like stabilize it and mount it almost onto the shoulder when it's in use, you know, when they're firing from the shoulder. It sort of seems that way. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. We do have some of the very common connector clip pieces. So you've got 3 of these guys here that will connect to the back of the Zaku. And there is that little port that's usually on the back that you can pop this in here. And then you've got your connection piece, so you can put a cannon and, you know, store the larger weapons on his butt. Basically, I usually don't do that just because I don't particularly like the way it looks, but I do love options for weapon storage, so I'm glad they do come with it. We've got a couple of heat hawks as usual with the Zaku. So you've got one here that connects to a hard point on the hip, and this is the unignited version, so it's just sort of like that lavender color with the cable that comes off of it. But then you've also got the ignited version, which is extended. So you've got this guy here, and it's got that sort of gold stripe on it to make it look like it's turned on. So you've got this one for when he's in action, and this one when it's not in action. We've got, of course, all the guns that I've mentioned. So you've got the sort of standard Zaku blaster rifle here. There's not a whole lot of paint on this guy except for what's in the sight here. There's a little pink in there. You've got the movable handle on this side. You've got the movable sight. And then the canister is actually removable, like the ammo, and you can pop it back on, but you can put it on one of the hard points on the back of the figure. So you can store the ammo off like he's, you know, reloading or something if you're trying to set a scene. We've got this big cannon here, which does have a movable handle, or trigger rather, and you've got this handle on top so you can actually lug it around by that handle. No paint on this guy either. We've got this much larger cannon, which does have a sight, and it's movable, so it actually, the whole thing kind of twists really. You've got this handle here, which does move a little bit. You've got the sight, which you can move around. There's a little bit of that pink plastic in there. And then it's just a different design. So you've got a much larger cannon here. you've got like these rockets coming out the back. Both of them can utilize an effect part as well. So speaking of, we've got this guy, which actually is a hardpoint effect piece. So you can actually put it on the figure. So like he just got blasted, and it's got a little bit of a joint to it. So you can angle it and arc it in certain ways, which I really love. These effect pieces are fantastic. They do a great job of implementing these. We've got a muzzle flash, or like a blaster type effect, so you can plug this into the actual blaster that he comes with. It's a very small port and a very small peg, but you've got this, so it looks like the muzzle is flashing. Really dig this. I've got this with a few others, but I use it a lot with my camphor. And then we've got this big monster here. So we've got the actual rocket that's firing out of one of these big rocket launchers. So you pop that in the end there. I mean, it's basically as long as the gun itself. These are really, really big. It's kind of heavy, so you do have to watch how you actually implement it. It will also peg into this one, although it's not as good of a fit. And then you can try to do it the correct way, like that. If you're paying attention, do it the right way. So you've got this big guy here. So you do have two options as far as what you want to use this with, because you have two different guns. And then we've also got a set of hands, which come with the little tree that you can use. So you've got a set of trigger finger hands, you've got a set of open palm style pose hands, you've got another set with different style of trigger for one of the different bazookas, and then you've got an open palm hand, but this is sort of like for cupping one of the larger weapons that he has. And then you've also got, of course, your gripping hands on him in the box. And then we've got, as if there wasn't enough stuff in this box already, you've got these stickers, which they probably are not going to show up on camera, but just know that they are there. They're like little decals for all of the unit numbers that you can pop all over this guy. So they would look much better on that dark blue instead of being blasted out by the incredibly bright lights. But he does have those. So yeah, he has a tremendous array of accessories. This is not uncommon for this line, but it's still a lot to go through. So you've got a number of options, and this is why, this is kind of like almost an army builder in some ways, because there are meant to be more than one of this particular unit. So you can have the Grenadier, you can have the one that's using the melee weapons, you can have one that's using the blaster, and have like a little squad going. So a lot of cool stuff and just a ton of options. So yeah, this is a pretty solid release. There's not really anything negative for me to say on this one. He moves really well. It looks exactly like it's supposed to. It comes with a ridiculous, at times, array of accessories. I mean, honestly, there is almost too much, because you're never going to use all this stuff at any given time. You're going to have to pick and choose what you want. But I love all of the options, and you can undoubtedly use a lot of this stuff across your Robot Spirits figures. So they give you a ton of stuff in this box, and it's just a solid looking figure. I'm a big fan of this line. It really, really emulates the cartoon look in plastic, and there's not a whole lot more I can ask for. It's a fun figure, it moves well, it looks good, it comes with a lot of stuff. That's about it. So that's going to do it for this look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations Robot Spirits Black Tri-Stars Zaku 1. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.